The last part in the chapter, we'll be talking about cylinders. So in cylinders, there are several or two ideas we need to consider. So one is talking about the volume, and next we talk about surface area. We further categorize into curved surface area and total surface area, and we will be reading it one by one as follows. First of all, let's start from volume. Volume is talking about the space in the cylinder. So that's why if you, for example, if you want to fill the cylinder with water, it's talking about volume. And the formula will be, so like in Form 1 or in primary school, is base area times height. So that's why it's pi r squared, because the base is a circle, times the height, which is normally h, as in the question. So this is the first formula, pi r squared h for volume. Afterward, we come to surface area. For surface area, so let's go back to the cylinder once again. If we consider about the total surface area, there should be three pieces. First piece, the top part, which is a circle, not an oval. Second part, also a circle. So each of them contributes you pi r squared and pi r squared. The last part will be the curved surface. We call it curved surface area. If you try to open the paper, so it should be like a rectangle, which the width will be hcm. But what about the length? Can you imagine that where the red line comes from? Yes, it comes from the whole length of the circle, or you can say the circumference. So for how large the circumference would be of the base, then is how long the length of the rectangle is. And this length will be 2 pi r. And then as a result, the curved surface area will be 2 pi rh. So this is the second formula. And finally, if you want to consider the pi r squared to talk about total surface area, you add 2 pi r squared over there. So generally speaking, I suggest you just remember two formulas. One is the volume, pi r squared h, and next one will be curved surface area only. The last one is just a change or additional to the upper base and the lower base, the two circles up and down. Will it be alright to you? Yes, hopefully yes. Now we come to take a look in number one. So as a explanation or elaboration about the formulas. In number one, you're asked to find the volumes and total surface area. So let's start from volume first. There's a little bit trap there because it's given to you 2 cm, which is the diameter. So I like to write 1 here as a radius. And the formula will be pi 1 squared, pi r squared, and h. And as the question requires me to write in terms of pi, and that's why I keep the pi in the answer, and I have 10 pi cm cube. While if you're talking about the total surface area, there are three parts if you still remember. First of all, first circle, so it's over here. Next, so the curved surface is 2 pi r h, which is 10 cm. And the last part, which you can't see it quite clearly, and it's also pi 1 squared. And finally, it's pi, 20 pi, and one more pi. And that's why at last you have 22 pi cm squared, finally. Next, we jump to number 3 and take a look at the question. Now it tells you that the circumference of the base of a cylinder is 8 pi cm. That seems very terrible. And the next curved surface area is 40 pi cm squared. And you have to find number 1, the base radius, and number 2, the height. So let's start from the first case first. Circumference of a base of the cylinder. What does that mean? Cylinder will be in this shape. Base, it can be upper base or lower base, but by the way, it's just a circle. And now it tells you the circumference. That means it's 2 pi. For this circumference, radius is not known yet. That means it tells you 2 pi r is 8 pi. And this is the hint how you can find the radius, base radius, in part A. Second part will be curved surface area. So you know the curved surface area here. The formula, if you remember, is 2 pi rh, which r is the radius, we haven't found yet. H, again, we don't know. but we know that it is 40 pi, so that's why it is another hint, the second hint for part A. Now let's start. Part A, first of all, we let R be the radius. I like to write short sentence. I'll just say that R be the base radius. And according to the first hint, 2 pi R will be 8 pi, according to the circumference. And you'll get R is 4 cm. So it's pretty easy, right? And you've got base radius is 4 cm immediately. Next, according to the second hint, you want to find the height. So that's why I let h be the height of the cylinder. Whereas you have 2 pi, the radius is known already. H is not known yet, which is 40 pi. If you remember, I suggest you cancel the pi first. It's like cancel a letter in solving, simplifying expression. Well, next you have h equal to 40, so that's why h is 5. And finally, you can say the height. The height is 5 cm afterward. Next, we come to part B. You want to find the volume. Piece of cake, right? So it's just pi r squared h, but we don't write the formula in the question or in the answer. We just start from saying that the volume is, okay, you bear in mind that you write the formula here is pi r squared h. Pi, r you know is 4 square, h is a 5, and that's why finally you have 80 pi cm cube, finally. It's not very difficult for you, isn't it? Next, we try to see a practical problem about volume. So let's start. First of all, you have a cylindrical container. So that means it's a cylinder indeed. So the container is it is a cylinder. Base radius is 5 given to you, filled with some water. There's a break flowing to the water, and it causes a rise of 3 cm of the water level, rise in water level, and you have to find the volume of the break. Well, what does that mean? So you can imagine the question is like this. So first of all, you have a container, and there's a water level like this at first. Next, there's a break going to be put in the water. And the next, when you drop the block into the water, you expect there should be a rise in water level, right? So it's not very difficult when you drop it inside. And then it rises 3 cm in the water level. So you can consider the rise in the water level here. So it is exactly equal to the volume of the break. Now, repeat. So it's like when you have a rise in the water level, so it seems like there's more water. But where does it come from? It's not really we're at the water, we were at the block. So that's why the block, which is it a cube? No, it's not mentioned. I just talk about the cube here. So when you have a rise of level is 3 cm, according to the formula of the volume of water is pi r squared h. Well, h is the rise in the water level. It is equal to the break, the volume of the break in the question. Then we write in this way. Volume of break will be equal to the rise of water level, and talking about the volume. And finally, it's 75 pi cm cube. Oh, but the question is asking me to use 3 sig fig, so that's why I need to use calculator to check it. You also take out your calculator and check it right now. This is equal to 236 cm cube, which is correct to 3 sig fig. So you bear in mind this concept. The volume of break to put in the water causes a rise of water level. When this shape of the rise of the volume of water increasing, so you see in the shape of a cylinder in this container. So that's why you calculate the volume of this red region, red volume, which is equal to the volume of the cube, as mentioned in the question. Finally, we come to take a look in the question, which is also about volume. Now you have a metal cylinder, base radius 12, height 8 cm. If you like, you can draw a picture very quickly. Okay, radius is 12, 8 cm height. melted, the keywords next will be melted and recast. So you melt it because it's a metal, and you make it to another shape into two identical cylinders of height cm. So that means you try to melt it and make two smaller ones, maybe a smaller cylinder like this. Okay, I draw it in a better way. 4 cm height, and also another one, which is also 4 cm height. And now you have to find the volume and also base radius of each of the two cylinders. So what does that mean? So first of all, the volume will be easy because you melt it into two identical cylinders. So that's why the key will be, how can you find the volume of it? If you can do it, divide it by 2 and you get part A. Easy, right? So that's why the volume of these two cylinders will be, I'll just say volume is, because the cylinder shorter. So it's pi 12 square h. So you remember the formula is pi r square h for volume divided by 2. The question requires us to write in terms of pi, right? So that's why it would be easier. It is 576 pi cm squared, cm cube, and that's all. And afterward, in part B, if you want to find the base radius, again we need an equation. We let the base radius, right? Base radius be r. So that's why pi r square, so r is not known yet. Height is 4 cm here, times 4, which is equal to 576 pi. And then now you cancel the pi, cancel the 4, cancel the pi, and divide it by 4. You've got r square is 144. Taking square root from calculator, you can get 12. So that's why you can say, or you conclude that the base radius is 0.12 cm. That is.